Hey guys, and welcome to part 3 of Link's Awakening any percent glitchless speedrun tutorial. Today, we're going to be making our way to Bottle Grotto. So first thing you're going to be doing is just heading straight out of the dungeon here. Pretty simple stuff, and then you're going to run into our good old friend Kepora Gebora. Pretty sure that's still his name in this game. Any owl in any Zelda game to me is Kepora Gebora, so maybe that's just a me thing. But since we picked up the dog food, we need to go give that to, obviously, the alligator, the crocodile, I'm not entirely sure. But you're just going to want to hop over that hole. You don't have to kill that Octorok if he's not in the way. He usually tends to be, so that's when we want to do our jump slashes. As we talked about before, jump slashing is the fastest way to take something out of your way, such as bushes. So you're going to come into here, see what he's got to say, and you're going to say Gut. Which I'm guessing means yes, yeah, something like that. He's gonna take the dog food. And there's only like one more part to this trade quest line that we have to do. And then the rest is history. Rest is history. All because we set up that seed manipulation, we don't actually need to do anything else story driven. The only thing that you'd really need to do to continue on would be to get the lenses, but as I said before, we manipulated it, so we don't actually need to even worry about that. Which is good, because there's like another 5 or 6 parts after that. But this path is pretty simple. Just go through, cut bushes that are in your way, avoid Octoroks, and these boys are just going to come talk to you. So we're just going to mash through this. Looks like Bow Wow from Miss Meow Meow here is disappeared somewhere, so now we gotta head over to the Moblin cave. Since we now have the feather, we can actually access a couple of extra spots. Same thing as last time when we were traversing through here. Just try and avoid the Moblins as best you can. Little bit easier now that you can jump. That being said, still hit stuff. So now you want to jump over the grass if you can. A little bit faster. Try and knock these guys out of the way if you want. So it's not super imperative. Avoid that heart piece. This heart piece right here, we don't pick any up, so try and learn to just jump over, not fall in the holes, and just hop right on over. You will probably have a couple of runs at least where you pick it up. It's not a huge deal, it just doesn't help us at all. So now here we are in the Moblin cave. So magic powders are going to be our bread and butter. So this first guy's pretty simple. Give him a pop and away you go. Now this next room, it kind of depends on how the enemies show up. I'm actually gonna do a save here. Kind of depends on how they actually pop up here. Sometimes they'll do a 2 and 2. Basically, you want to try and hop over and magic powder them if you can. With these guys lately, oh, okay, that did not work out as well. And that's why we have the save. It's kind of a crapshoot of you want to get in on the guys so you can actually get your magic powder going. Sometimes you can line up the triple, or sometimes only one guy will get hit. Sometimes it's just like that. Now this guy is a little bit rough in the sense that... So the way you want to do this is you want to get him to charge, and you can one cycle him by basically hitting him and then holding your sword out for just a couple of frames. So instead of just slashing, you're going to slash, hold, but just a little bit, just that little bit. And that way, if you can do that consistently without holding it and, you know, getting that or whatever, you should be able to hit them in one shot. That being said, I've been actually struggling with this for a little bit, so here we are. And sometimes you'll just stop like that. I think it's because I move out of the way too quick, but that was pretty tight. That was pretty tight. So we're gonna try that once more. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my higher reset spots just because of this guy. And so I missed up there, but we know that from that he's just a few hits short. He drops a fairy, so I like to stay here, guarantee that he does that, and then he can kill him. Now, let's see if we can get that one shot, the single cycle. There we go. Just nice and quick. We'll, I'll do a little slowdown to that as well. We'll take a quick peek. Can pick up that fairy if you still feel inclined to. Now in this room, you kind of hope that Bow Wow, yeah, sometimes he'll hop out to you like that. Can save a few frames. It's great. And then you just want to do the simple old reload the dungeon a little bit quicker than running all the way back. And then we just head out. Pretty simple. Don't worry too much if it takes 2 or 3 cycles for the first bit for that boss. It's just the thing you just kind of have to get used to. And honestly, I could probably still PB off of it without single cycling. It's just the fact that every PB I've had, I have single cycled, so now it's just a mental thing. But now that we got Bow Wow, we gotta head over into this area right up here. But we can't lift these, so we got a little bit of traversing to do. Great thing about Bow Wow is he will eat some enemies. I think it's kind of based on a timer, and you can jump over enemies, by the way. Jumping over enemies makes things a little bit easier. He does eat. It looks like he's on a bit of a timer on when he actually eats them, so he can't just perpetually eat, which is going to get a little bit annoying for inside this area here. I feel you want to jump through the water here. Oh, he actually ate that. Okay. Jump through the water. It's a little bit faster than this trend through. And you want him just to eat these guys. Now, sometimes he will just decide not to eat stuff, which in itself is quite annoying. I'm actually going to reload just to see if I can show that off a little bit. Like when you're coming up to a flower here, I think you got to be close to it. Sometimes you have to be really... Try not to hit them because they do like, what, a full heart of damage? Yeah, they do a full heart of damage. But if you go through, you might be lucky enough that he'll just eat everything. And if not, just try and change your position a little bit. So you're coming up to the flowers. If he hasn't eaten anything for a while, should be good. I think it is a timer thing. So he hasn't eaten anything for a little bit, so he's eating there. But because he's eating that big plant, sometimes... Okay, never mind. What do I know? What do I know? But there you go. We have now made it into Dungeon 2, the Bottle Grotto. And this is where we're going to take off next time. So here's the full-time split. And enjoy the grinding, fam.
No!